Ugh, discipline. Just the word makes me feel icky and bad about myself, like I'm gonna be punished. But we do need structures and rules for our behaviors in order to be efficient and have results in the world, right?
I know, I look like a zombie and the sound is garbage, but the content is worth it. Don't believe me, just watch, lower the sound, it will be okay. Okay, bye.
In this video, I tackle what is wrong with the way we see discipline and how to customize a structure for yourself and parent your own self. I'm gonna flip discipline around. Stay tuned.
Inner heroine.
So why do we need discipline? Like, honestly, discipline feels so bad, but we still want to be disciplined. Why? Because we want to have results. You have goals, you have ambitions, right? Just think about it. Think about it right now. What do you want to do in this world? You know you have things on your mind that are worth putting out there. You know you have talents that you need to bring out. You need to bring them out. If you don't bring them out, who will? It's yours. You have them for a reason. You came, you were born with it for a reason. It's not Maybelline, okay? It's you. It's your own stuff that you need. I just made the worst joke. Okay. No, for real. Discipline. I'm just making jokes because it's also something that I've struggled with so much. And right now I'm shooting a video. The lighting is not good. My hair looks like shit. I look like a zombie. But the sound is not right. But guess what? I'm here and I'm doing it. Why? Because I found a way to customize a structure for myself in order to get things done. Why do we want to be disciplined? Yes, it's because we have goals and we want to do stuff, but it's also because action, what we do in the world, is very much linked to our sense of worth. And I've spent so much time resisting that, so much time in this like spiritual la la land of like, oh, I don't need to build myself up with action and identities, and I'm way greater than that, and like I am nothing, I am everything. Gal, boy, you need to do something in this world to feel relevant and to feel good about yourself. No matter how spiritual you think you are, no matter how conscious you think you are, okay? No matter what, you're gonna feel like ish. You're gonna feel like garbage if you don't do anything in this world. That's just plain facts. Like, coming back to discipline, you're here for a reason. You clicked on this video because discipline, this word, we have to unpack it because it's linked to our childhood, our deep childhood traumas. Discipline means someone told us when to eat, when to sleep, when to work, when to go to school, how to stand in line. All of these things, since we're born, we're being told what to do. With no explanation whatsoever. If your parents explain to you why you have to brush your teeth and why you have to sleep, you have great parents. Me, when I asked something, they were like, because I said so. And that's how most people are raised, even in school. Like, but why can I go to the washroom now? Because that's the rules. That's the rules. That's the rules. That's the rules. And so putting on rules and adopting a discipline structure is very traumatic. Let's just dive right into it. It's traumatic. It's traumatic. I feel you. I'm here with you. We need to see why we're not able to do this. Because then, if we see why, we drop the guilt, we drop the shame. It's not our fault. Let's not just start and yell about society and everything. That's not helpful either. You have the responsibility on your life. You need to do something, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get it, baby. You need to see you have the responsibility now, but it's not your fault. These things can coexist. Childhood trauma, it lingers into teens, it lingers into adulthood, and tweens, like 19 to 25, we're in this limbo where we're left to ourselves. Now we have to parent our own self. Nobody is there telling us when to sleep, when to eat, what to do, how to carry our own projects, how to make sure that certain things get done. We have to make that for ourselves. But how do we make that work if every single time we think about putting rules on our behaviors, we get triggered by this traumatic experience of being told what to do all our lives and being in this state of resistance to it? Well, let's try this. Let's just drop here. Imagine that your feet are grounded and go really deep into the ground. Just imagine that. Just go with me and go into the ground as much as you can go with your imagination, and try to see a word where you can wake up at any time you want. You can eat whenever you want. You can do whatever you want at whatever time you want. You can not sleep if you want to. You can sleep if you want to all day. You can eat sugar all day if you want to. You can decide every minute of your life what to do. Just imagine that for a second. You have the decisions every moment of your life. You decide by yourself what to do. What's the first feelings that you get? For me, it's a sense of liberation, it's freeing, but at the same time, these things can coexist. At the same time, I feel very overwhelmed. I feel overwhelmed. It's a lot of decisions to make in one day. Okay, it's a lot of decisions. I lived like that for like a year or two. I was on sick leave because I was working too much. So discipline is my gig, okay? I know I burned out like 3 times in my life. So I was in this sick leave state where I didn't have anything to do and I was paid, right? And so sometimes I didn't sleep at all. And sometimes I was so productive one day, and then the next day I was not doing anything. And it was driving me crazy because this inconsistency, it's very draining when you have to decide every moment of your life what you need to do. That is why we put structures. You know, it got misused, right? It got misused by the people in power or whatever. But at the basis of it, at the core of it, structure is not a bad thing because it helps us reduce the mental charge of having to make decisions every moment of our lives. If certain things are set up in advance and we know we wake up every time at the same time and we eat at the same time and we do certain things every week, stuff like that, it removes the charge of having to think every second of our lives what we need to do, right? And so structure is not a bad thing. What is missing is flexibility. What is missing is seeing that in the world, okay, in nature, nothing is all of the time the same thing. It's nothing like even the sun, right? In winter, it comes up and it comes down at different hours than in the summer, right? And it's the sun, like it's what makes the earth livable. Like without the sun, we're not able to live on this earth, right? The moon is different every day in relationship to the earth and the sun. It's a different phase, and it affects the sea, and it affects everything else. And our body is made of earth, it's made of elements. And so we are very attuned to it. Whether we are consciously attuned to it or not is a different matter. But our body is not always the same. It doesn't need always the same things, right? And so this flexibility, this customization that I'm talking about, that's what I'm gonna really nail on this video for the next 5 minutes, is how to make sure that seeing your body, your mind as a temple that you need to take care of in order to have results in the world. And discipline is really much that. Whether you need to do something in terms of action or whether you want to change something about your body, which is fine too, whether you need to eat differently, it's all linked to how you see yourself and how you see discipline. I'm gonna drop the word discipline and use structure, because everything is structure. A building needs a certain structure to be able to hold still, right? Our body and our mind is the same thing. It needs a certain structure to not be completely disorganized. That's what mental illness is. In psychoanalysis, we talk about disorganization as a main component of mental illness, because our mind needs certain habits to be able to stay sane, right? And so when you're not in a state of structure, you're pretty much in a state of disorganization, and that's gonna lead to substance abuse, that's gonna lead to any type of abuse in terms of Netflix, in terms of food, in terms of sex, in terms of anything that makes you feel pleasure, because when you're disorganized, your mind will compensate with pleasure. And so discipline, drop it. It's traumatic for you. Stop using this word. See it as structure. You need structure. You just need structure. But structure can be different and it can be customized to you, because you are your own build. You are your own pop-up of this earth. You are your own temple. And different types of temple, in even in Hinduism, different gods need to be catered different ways. And so different gods need to be catered in different ways, right? And so see, what do you need? What do you need? What makes you feel good? And not feel good like right now, I feel good not, doing anything about the goals that I set up for myself, so I'm not going to do them because that's what feels good. No. What feels good in the long term? What feels good after you do something that you don't want to do, right? That's what makes you structured. It's having a long-term vision. But not only that, doing it in a flexible way. In the next video, I'm going to talk in length about how I structure myself in terms of building a customized structure for my needs and my goals, and how I reparent myself, how I talk to myself in a certain way. Because parenting, like I said in the beginning of the video, it's, for most of us, it's been a traumatic experience. Our parents did their best. They did their best. They really did. Okay, they really did their best, even if their best was shitty, right? But that's all they knew. If they knew better, they would do better, right? But now it's our responsibility. That's your goals. That's your thing you want to do. You need to do it. Otherwise, who will? Who will? It's important. Okay? I believe in us, that we're here right now to do things and to reach our full potential for a reason. There's a reason why you're listening to this video, listening to me talking about discipline, right? Because you have what it takes to get there. So in my next video, I'm going to give you a template of how to really bullet point structure your day, and not in a dramatic discipline way, but in a structured way. So please stay tuned for the next video. Like this video because I know you got value from it. Subscribe to see me in your feed because you need this, all of this extravaganza in your life, right?